I'm working on Chronos Advanced Gesture Engine, well, or Cage, along with a couple of other things that I'll talk about later. So, in case you haven't seen this slide every other time I've done it in the presentation, my project is taking a wristwatch with an accelerometer in it and using it to create gestures, which you can use to control your computer.
And this is not April Fool's joke that Gmail provided.
Yeah.
I think he could prove that Gmail April Fool is actually a possibility.
Yes. It's just coincidence that they happen to get it together, but it could be done with this. So this is the watch we're using, the EZ430 Chronos by Texas Instruments. It's a little $50 watch, and it works with Windows, Mac, and Linux. And so where are we now? From last time, we have the packaging is getting farther along. I need to figure out what external libraries the build is missing, because there's this, using this really sort of sketchy building system. It's really the only one that exists for JRuby and has about 40 lines of documentation. I'm working on a how-to for anybody who'd like to take the code and do something cool with it, or somebody who'd just like to take it and use it themselves. And there should be a video up for Cage showing some more advanced stuff you can do with it on Sunday. There's already one video up, but there should be another. So one of the other things I was working on this semester is something called air math. This is a suggestion of Morthy. Basically what it does is it takes these hand gestures and it turns them into mathematical equations. And so you can use a slightly modified version of Cage to do this. You basically just define a gesture with the operator that you want to use, and then define your gesture that you want to define to that. And then, so there's a working version of this now, and we'll have a demo in a minute. But what I've noticed through experimenting with this particular version of it is that the resolution that you can get with the watch, the amount of finite points that you can get from the watch, is starting to become a problem. You can only get something like 20 points per second from the watch, which is not a whole lot to create enough fidelity. So I'll do the demo. You'll probably notice that at least a couple of times it'll misinterpret my gestures. I was doing that a lot. I'd like to think that a 4 was a plus sign. So we'll see. But anyways, so right, that's not okay. Here it is. Right. So we'll run the software. So the software is built in a thing called JRuby, which is Ruby plus Java. So all of the UI logic here is done in Java, and all of the underlying gesture handling is done in Ruby. So what I've done here is I've just defined, I've got right now 4 operations, but you can put in just about any operation within reason. And then I put in the numbers and then this equals sign here for when you're done. So start the accelerometer. Alright, so it's working. And so now the way this works is you just do one, right now at least for a proof of concept, you just do one character at a time. So you can say like 4. Let's see if this got it. Yay. So down here you see that it's on 4. And then you can say times. It's supposed to be an asterisk. Yep. Say 5. Let me see if I saw that one. And then record an equals sign. Oh, it didn't get the equals sign. Yeah, it might still work. You can tie things together. Let's see. Alright, we'll see. Alright, so this is problematic. I also need to put in a button here for start over. Right now I'm just going to do this. But like I said, see that how it's not telling that I'm doing an equals sign as opposed to one of the other letters. It's because it's getting probably a grand total of 20 or 30 points from my 2.5 long gesture. Something like the Wiimote would get something like 200 points from that same amount of time. So we'll try this again. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Alright, so we'll try this one more time.
One possibility, Mike, one
Yes.
possibility is the equal sign, if there is a problem, you can put C for equality, so, or E
Yeah.
for equal, so that it becomes a...
I mean, you can define any gesture you want to be any of these. Like I could come in here and say, I want to redefine what equals is. I think I could just, I want to redefine it here. And now it's just redefined equals as that, which should be what it was before, but anyways. The answer is nothing. But anyways, so that's how it should work, and you can sort of see why the Chronos watch is getting to be a problem. So to get around that, I'm going to try investigating some other ways of doing this. The Wii mode is the simplest because it's just Bluetooth. So hopefully by the next time I'm up here, we'll have that working, and it'll be a lot less glitchy.
You have a Wii mode?
I don't, but one of my roommates does. So back to the presentation. Alright. So, and then in addition, I was also contributing to this piece of established open source software called BioRuby. And so BioRuby is a project of the Open Bio Foundation, the University of Tokyo, and the Kyoto University. And so their goal is to provide an integrated environment for bioinformatics for the Ruby language. And so bioinformatics, if you probably don't know what it is just biology and computer science mixed together. So using a computer to solve biological problems. It's also a really weird word that you end up explaining a lot. And so on the BioRuby, as part of the BioRuby team, I'm helping out to update their documentation because they've been working on all these really cool things, all these really cool ways to get all this information out of a bunch of databases and into your programs, but really nowhere in the code is there anything that tells you how to use it. So we're trying to bring the tutorials and the how-tos up to date, and they have a decent set of unit tests, but we're trying to get that up to date. So that's what I'm working on right now, and we're trying to get some sample code working. So things that I've learned while doing this, collaborating with people who are on the other side of the world from you is hard. People in Japan, there's a weekly IRC meeting for the group, and when they meet, it's 9 o'clock a.m. here, and it's like 3 o'clock p.m. for them there. So that IRC and the mailing lists are helpful and wouldn't really work otherwise if you couldn't use email. And documentation in this program can be very important because a lot of the users are either biologists or computer scientists. Not as many are both. So the documentation can be really helpful for somebody who wants to know, how do I do this without having to learn how to a lot of code. And quick shameless plug, BioRuby and a bunch of the other bio projects under the Open Bio Foundation, BioPerl, BioJava, the rest, are looking for students to go work on projects with them through the Google Summer of Code. If you're interested in this, the application process is open, and you can get more information at openbio.org. Just look for the post about Google Summer of Code in the newsfeed. Or you can talk to me, email, come up to me after this, get me in the IRC chat room, whatever. It's the information about BioRuby and Cage. So that's all I've got for now. Are there any questions about anything?
What's the battery life on the watch?
I haven't had to replace it yet, and I've had it for a year and 3 months now.
Okay.
Yep. No, it's a lie. I had to replace it once, like 2 months after I got it, but then since that, it's been fine. I think that was just a bad battery. Yep.
After you do a gesture, some of the debug output says something about like this gesture best fits with this, with a score of some floating point. How is that
Yeah.
score determined?
So the score is determined. We have this this algorithm called U-Wave, which does dynamic time warping. This dynamic programming algorithm to match the points together. It's technically a distance between the two sets of points, and it's the closest one that it could find. We also set a threshold, so you won't see ones that are below the threshold. Any other questions?
So the method is in this Sunday video, you will have at least some some portions of the code working.
Yep. I mean, the code works. It's just it's having issues.
Yeah, you
identifying
can
things.
change the gesture to
Yeah, I'll figure out a different gesture there to make it easier to identify.